In the ever-evolving landscape of global finance, few stories capture the imagination quite like the saga of Japan's monetary policy. As we stand at the precipice of a potential paradigm shift, the Bank of Japan, BOJ, finds itself in a position that is both enviable and precarious. The recent decision by Governor Kazuo Ueda to maintain the status quo on interest rates has sent ripples through the financial world, leaving economists, policymakers, and casual observers alike pondering the implications for Japan's economic future. To understand the gravity of this moment, we must first appreciate the unique position Japan occupies in the global economic ecosystem. For decades, the land of the rising sun has been an outlier among developed nations, grappling with persistent deflationary pressures and anemic growth. The BOJ's unorthodox monetary policies, including negative interest rates and massive asset purchases, have been both praised as bold experiments and criticized as unsustainable band-aids. Now, as the world emerges from the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic and grapples with inflationary pressures, Japan finds itself at a crossroads. The question on everyone's lips is not if, but when, the BOJ will join its peers in normalizing monetary policy. Governor Ueda's recent press conference was a masterclass in central banking communication. With the precision of a surgeon and the caution of a tightrope walker, he navigated a minefield of potential market reactions. His statement that the upside risk to prices does appear to be easing given the recent yen strength was particularly telling. In one deft move, Ueda simultaneously acknowledged the progress made towards price stability while signaling a continued commitment to the BOJ's accommodative stance. This delicate balancing act reflects the complex web of factors influencing Japan's monetary policy decisions. On one hand, there's growing pressure to address the side effects of prolonged ultra-loose monetary policy, including potential asset bubbles and financial system distortions. On the other, there's the ever-present fear of derailing Japan's fragile economic recovery. The memory of the market meltdown following July's modest policy adjustment looms large in the minds of BOJ officials. The sight of $1.1 trillion evaporating from Japan's stock market in a mere 3 days served as a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in monetary policy decisions. It's a cautionary tale that underscores the need for gradual, well-telegraphed policy shifts. As Japan contemplates its next move, it finds itself increasingly isolated on the global stage. The Federal Reserve's recent pivot towards rate cuts marks a significant shift in the global monetary landscape. With other major central banks, including the Bank of England and European Central Bank, also embarking on easing cycles, the BOJ stands out as the lone hawk in a dovish flock. This divergence raises intriguing questions about the future of global monetary coordination and the potential for currency volatility. As the yen's recent fluctuations demonstrate, even subtle shifts in policy expectations can have outsized impacts on foreign exchange markets. No discussion of Japanese monetary policy would be complete without acknowledging the political backdrop. The upcoming leadership election for Japan's Liberal Democratic Party adds another layer of complexity to the BOJ's decision-making process. With candidates holding divergent views on monetary policy, the outcome of this political contest could have far-reaching implications for Japan's economic trajectory. The specter of Sanai Takaichi, a known advocate of monetary easing, looms large over the BOJ's normalization plans. Her potential ascendancy to leadership could complicate the central bank's efforts to chart a course towards policy normalization. Conversely, candidates like Shinjiro Koizumi and Shigeru Ishiba are seen as more amenable to giving the BOJ greater latitude in raising rates. This interplay between monetary policy and politics serves as a poignant reminder of the broader societal implications of central bank decisions. Beyond the realm of financial markets and economic indicators, these choices shape the lived experiences of millions of Japanese citizens, from retirees grappling with low returns on their savings to young families struggling with rising living costs. As we look to the future, the path forward for Japan's monetary policy remains shrouded in uncertainty. Governor Ueda's cautious approach suggests that any policy normalization will be a gradual, carefully orchestrated process. The BOJ will likely continue to closely monitor a range of factors, including global economic conditions, domestic inflation trends, and financial market stability. The central bank's commitment to achieving sustainable price growth in line with its 2% target remains unwavering. However, the timeline for reaching this goal and the specific policy tools employed along the way remain open questions. For investors, policymakers, and citizens alike, the coming months promise to be a period of intense scrutiny and speculation. Each economic data point, policy statement, and market reaction will be dissected for clues about the BOJ's next move. As we stand at this critical juncture in Japan's economic history, it's clear that the decisions made in the coming months and years will have profound implications not just for Japan, but for the global financial system as a whole. The BOJ's journey towards policy normalization is more than just a technical exercise in monetary policy adjustment. It's a grand experiment in economic revitalization, a test of the limits of central bank influence, and a referendum on Japan's place in the global economic order. As we watch this story unfold, we would do well to remember that behind the economic jargon and market fluctuations lie the hopes, dreams, and livelihoods of millions of people. The success or failure of Japan's monetary policy will ultimately be judged not by the movements of financial markets, but by its ability to create a more prosperous, equitable, and sustainable future for all Japanese citizens. In the grand tapestry of global economics, Japan's monetary policy saga serves as a vivid reminder of the interconnectedness of our modern world and the profound responsibility that rests on the shoulders of those entrusted with steering the ship of economic policy. As we navigate these uncharted waters, the world watches with bated breath, knowing that the ripples created by Japan's decisions will be felt far beyond its shores.